Hi guys, this is Ms. Carvalho, and I'm going to go over the order of operations for question ECART for the retake. Okay, so this was question number one. You had to evaluate this expression when x equals -5. So I'm going to put in -5 for all of the x's. And remember, if you put them in parentheses when you substitute, all those negatives won't get so mixed up next to each other. So see how I put a minus sign there and then a -5. So I think this was the most missed question. So that's the minus sign. And then for this, that's the -5. And then +2. So I'm going to do, oh, there's another set of parentheses right here. So I'm going to do parentheses first, grouping symbols. And I'm going to do -7 minus -5. If you put -7 minus -5 into your calculator, it's the same thing as -7 plus 5, right? So we've got -2, and then a +2. And then when there's nothing here, that means this answer is being multiplied by this -2, right? There's no sign there. And then -5, I'm going to do the exponents next, and -5 squared basically means -5 times -5. You have to square the whole number inside the parentheses. And -5 times -5 is a positive 25. So I've got 25 times a -2 plus 2. Multiplication comes before addition, so I'm going to do 25 times -2, which is -50, and -50 plus 2 is -48. All right, let's go to number 2. We had to evaluate when x equals -2, so I'm going to put in -2 for the x in parentheses. It helps to substitute with the parentheses, and then there's a -2 at the end here. Okay, so I'm going to do grouping symbols first and do 4 plus 3, which is 7. And I'm going to copy down the rest because now that you're getting these much more complicated problems, one step at a time is the best. You want to make this like simplification. You want to simplify this and make like a Dorito chip, right? Or pizza slice or something. Okay, now I'm going to do multiplication. So -2 times 7 is -14 minus 8 times -2. I'm going to do multiplication again over here. Okay, so this is a tricky part too. There's two ways to do this. I like to pretend, I'm just going to leave this negative sign in the front. And then my answer of 8 times -2 is a -16. So this is going to have two negatives also, just like the last problem did. And my -14 is in front. So on your calculators, -14 minus -16 really means -14 plus positive, right? Keep, change, and that equals 2. Okay, number 3. All right, x equals 3, so I'm going to put a 3 for the x plus 5 times -8 for the y minus 2. There are no grouping symbols to like solve. There's nothing to do. So I'm going to do my exponents. 3 times 3 is 9. Then I'm going to do multiplication. -40. 5 times -8 is -40. And then I'm going to copy down the rest of my problem with all of the signs and operations. Don't miss anything. And then addition comes before subtraction in this problem. So I'm going to add 9 plus -40 is a -31, right? Minus 2. And -31 minus 2 on your calculator is really keep, change. So -31 plus a -2 is a -33. Okay, last problem. X equals 2. So I'm going to put a 2 for every x. So 3 times 2 minus 4, parentheses, squared. All right, so grouping symbols come before exponents. So you have to do all this stuff in here before you square an answer. So I'm going to do 3 times 2 first, which is 6, and copy down everything else. And then I'm going to finish the parentheses of grouping symbols. 6 minus 4 is 2. And I'm going to copy down everything else. Okay, now next after grouping symbols is exponents. You can't multiply first. You need to do 2 times 2 first to get 4. And then your last step, 4 times 2 is 8. All right, guys, I hope that helped and you're ready for the retake. Thank you.